Sukuna going through a whole existential crisis right now, bro. Like, and well, the copycat ninja Okotsu has finally joined us. Turns out Kenjaku never actually took him over. Let's talk about it. So the dagger, or sword in a non-weird way, that Higuruma left Yuji has basically disappeared. And Yuji and Sukuna, they throw hands a little bit. You know, one thing that I realized, Yuji's durability does not get enough credit. The fact that this man is just tanking blows from Sukuna and he's tanking slashes is actually insane. Like, I'm actually sitting here thinking, like, you know, it's crazy. We may not have seen like a technique from Yuji, but this man's durability is beyond ridiculous. Guess y'all watching this from YouTube recommendations. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button too, and well, yeah. Yuji has taken multiple blows from this man. Yuji even knows reverse curse technique. Come on, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that this man's growth is not on point. I low-key feel like Sukuna actually just misses Higuruma just a little bit. It's almost like he's in this form of like depression where he's just like, yo, I finally met a dude who was nice. This man, I mean, he wasn't matching me blow for blow, but I mean, I was able to run some hands with him and his growth rate was exemplary. Higuruma's growth rate is, this man is unstoppable. He went from being a regular sized human 2 months ago to a sorcerer who had a domain, who had a curse technique. He learned reverse curse technique while his life was on the line battling Sukuna. Y'all not gonna sit here and tell me anything. And then he dies. I mean, Gege's actually inspired by Akame ga Kill. So I mean, anybody who's watched that anime, I think we all know how this is gonna end. So yeah, I kind of feel like Sukuna's a bit of a psychopath. You miss a man that you just slaughtered, in the sense that you're like, yo, this man could have actually satisfied me. In a non-weird way. I feel like he misses Higuruma, and it's psychopathic. I feel like Sukuna just needs a straitjacket and a needle at this point. I mean, if you know, you know. So the mystery that is Gojo's body, where's it gone? Turns out Mei-Mei's younger brother actually has the ability to teleport. They basically took his body. I feel like this is like a form of misdirection on Gege's part, because it's the same line of thought that we had when the Bara died. So, you know, they've taken Gojo's body to that sorcerer who can actually use reverse curse technique on other people. But one, the efficiency isn't as great. It's usually about half of what people can usually do to themselves. And I mean, that's cool if you're not dead, but then Gojo got cut in half. Like, it was like it looked a little funky, but let's just call it a clean cut. It's the same thing with what happened when Nobara died, because when she died, there was that sorcerer who's actually with Todo just before he fought with Mahito. That was also another misdirection, because he basically told Yuji, like, okay, I've stopped her injuries from getting worse, so I mean, it's really down to the powers that be. And I feel like this is basically the same thing here, almost like wishful thinking or false hope. Nobara's not coming back, she's done. Gojo is done. Like, I feel like his purpose and his narrative in the story is done. The fact that his death was actually off screen in terms of how he got killed off, there's no version of this where he actually comes back. I was kind of on the whole train of he might come back as like a vegetable if he was ever to come back, or maybe come back without any curse technique or anything, or curse energy or whatever. But nah. I recently learned that Gege's a fan of Akame ga Kill. No one survives in this. No one is actually surviving. Like, peep it. Go watch Akame ga Kill and come back to this video. Actually, leave a like too, because I need that to get the views up. The thing is that, right, I feel like Sukuna's basically bugging out. Like, not even like I feel, he actually says it. So Sukuna's pretty much bugging out. We already know that Sukuna lives life on his own terms. Like, he does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. And I mean, that's a fair way to live. But the thing that I like about his character, he doesn't care about whether others understand him and why he lives like that, which is why I actually love his character. A lot of people in real life live their life on their own terms, to some capacity, of course, right? There's always just this constant need and desire to have others understand you. To be frank, I feel like you'd have a better sense of peace or a peace of mind if you genuinely did not care about how others viewed you and how you live. I feel like this is like a moment in time where Sukuna's finally beginning to understand others, because the one thing with Sukuna, right, is that people who are strong go after those who are actually strong, and they lose to those guys because the guys that they fought were genuinely that strong. That was bars. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That was fire. I came up with that on the spot. Like, legit. It's almost like a situation where you have to walk a mile in another person's shoes to really be able to relate and understand them as a person. Sukuna's never been able to do that, because the moment he meets somebody who he thinks might be able to satisfy him, or at least he'd be able to, I mean, he doesn't try to relate to others, but I think now he's forced into that state of mind because he's lived in Yuji's body. Not that he's looking at Yuji like, yo, this man can match me blow for blow. I mean, Yuji is progressively getting stronger. I feel like as the fight continues, Yuji will continue to get stronger and stronger, to the point where he gonna sock Sukuna at one point, and Sukuna gonna be like, all right, he gonna get serious at that point. You know, when you kind of fighting with your younger siblings and then they hit you a little harder than you like, and then you're like, okay, all right. You can tell this is hitting Sukuna because he spaces out. Like, this man is having a full existential crisis. He is reevaluating his whole existence as an individual right in front of Yuji. Yuji's just sitting there like, I bet I got time to breathe. Like, man, I ain't gonna lie. Man, we gonna need a miracle or something. And I think the thing that makes Sukuna bug out, right, is the fact that, one, he's relating to somebody that which never happens, and he's relating to somebody that is weaker than him right now. Because Yuji's definitely gonna get to the point where he will become stronger than Sukuna. I mean, how's he supposed to beat him? I know Kusakabe and Ino ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, they just standing there like, all right, guys, we got a 5-minute break. We good. Sukuna's lived in Yuji's body. He understands Yuji's tenacity and his desire to never give up. Remember, during the Shibuya arc, Nobara died and Nanami died within a ridiculously small time frame apart from each other. Yuji witnessed them both. He was in such a state of depression, he got caught lacking with a black flash. Now, bearing in mind, Mahito was a violent villain. Like, you can have villains which are like, you know, real chill, ain't really trying to do nothing. I mean, they still be on some sucker stuff or whatever, but I mean, they just be straight chilling. Yuji was just getting slugged by Mahito the whole show, to the point where I sat there and I was like, hey, Yuji, you gonna want to put them hands up. I mean, I know your durability is nice, but I mean, you taking a couple hits right now, and I mean, I know them joints about to start hurting. Even to the point where his big bro, Mr. Legendary himself, Todo, had to step in. Even at that point in time, he had hit such a low point. I mean, I don't know anybody who's lost 2 friends within that short space of time and then has to continue fighting for their life. Like, I mean, plenty of people have lost 2 friends, cool, but not within this context. Yuji kept going to the point where he fought with Todo, and then he fought Mahito one-on-one again. Mahito had found his true essence, his true soul. Him and Mahito go at it. Yuji wins the fight, and he comes to the point where he genuinely accepts his role and his purpose that he is born to play, which is to kill curses. Sukuna's genuine ideals, which is to live life on his own terms, to kill his boredom, really is just him being him. People probably approach him and sit there and be like, yo, I'm that guy, like, I'm actually nice. And Sukuna's like, I mean, you just okay. You think you're nice, but I mean, you're just okay. So yeah, whatever. But he knows how deep the rabbit hole actually goes for Yuji. The fact that he's beginning to relate to him on this level really kind of sits there and shows you like, man, like, this about to be something. I feel like now we're getting to the point where the cogs are starting to turn. Sukuna's not in no corner. I mean, Okotsu's joined the battle, and I mean, we gonna have that battle between the king and the queen of curses. So I mean, whew. Royal game on point, son. A rule is added to the Culling games, and Megumi has the authorization to merge the humans with Tengen. Sukuna's never been invested in that. I feel like he'd only go along with it if it meant he could fight somebody stronger to kill his boredom until he basically kicks the bucket. So, I mean, Okotsu joins in, copy Ninja Kakashi, or the Kakashi of Jujutsu Kaisen, but I mean, Kakashi nonetheless. He finally joins in, and I mean, him and Rika are there. So I'm definitely looking at it and just thinking, yo, this is about to be a fight. Like, I mean, I've always kind of wondered where Okotsu actually stands in regards to Sukuna. He was feeling some type of way the moment he realized Gojo lost, but I feel like Okotsu knows he's strong, but I feel like now he's definitely a lot stronger than, you know, he thinks of himself just in general. Yeah, we gonna have a heck of a fight, I'll tell you that. I think we're on break next week, so if not, I'll see y'all in a week. But regardless of that, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all later, man. Peace.